Hello, this is Craig Pretzinger, and this is another playbook for your agency. So we talk a lot about leads, about utilizing callers to get the right amount of dials. Let's look at some other marketing that can be done and can be done quite effectively to increase retention, to drive referrals, to do all sorts of things. So let's do that. Let's dive in.
Insurance dudes are on a mission to escape being handcuffed by our agencies.
How? By uncovering the secrets to creating a predictable, consistent, and profitable agency sales machine.
I am Craig Pretzinger.
I am Jason Feldman.
We are agents.
We are insurance dudes.
I remember back to, I don't know if anybody else has this challenge, but buying gifts for their significant other can sometimes be a struggle, right? You got to put the thought into it and then actually figure out what's going to match. And I know I've told this story several times. You may have heard it before, but it's my Randy from Tiffany's story. So one of the things that I know that I can buy for my partner, my significant other, is I can get her something from Tiffany's. And almost always she'll be pleased with that. Now, my first experience with Tiffany's was getting something pretty low end, in the hundreds. And I interacted with a sales guy. His name was Randy. And now we've known each other for years. But what Randy did that was really cool that I always find a differentiator is he wrote a handwritten thank you card. Okay. So I bought the thing I bought. And for him, it was probably not really even an exceptional sale. He may not have even made anything off of it, right? Because it was low end, but he took the time to write the thank you card. This was his process, right? What did that do? That increased the lifetime value of me as a client of his with Tiffany's. Why? Because of that. And because of he would send cards on my anniversary or pre-anniversary, pre-his birthday, pre-Valentine's Day. So he was all over it with something that didn't take much time once it's organized and there's a process to it, but tremendously successful in increasing the lifetime value, right? If I had bought the thing, given it, that was it, I probably may not have ever had another exchange with Tiffany's again. But because of what he did, he sort of fenced me into his world, right? Where, okay, I had a good experience. My wife liked it and everything seemed to work out. So now that I keep getting reminded by him of that great experience, I come back for more. So that's a good thing, right? So what we could do is think about, the rarity of common courtesy within businesses today. If anybody that's had any interactions with anybody, it seems anytime recently, and it may have started during COVID, there is a very low level of courtesy or concern when it comes to customer service. How is this an opportunity for anybody who owns a business? Well, I'll tell you, and especially the agency world where people don't love insurance, this is a huge opportunity because the bar is even lower, right? The bar has been set lower. So if we hit and exceed that bar, people are going to remember us and people are going to enjoy those experiences. So we need to rethink the marketing just beyond our advertising or any kind of direct marketing that we do, meaning money invested that we expect a return from as a strategy for sales. Now, what can we do? How can we increase the experience of the client? Well, we want to look at maintenance as marketing, right? Maintaining the client as a form of marketing, right? So think of Disney. If you go to Disneyland, the cleanliness of the experience, right? Everything is clean. They've set up an entire infrastructure to ensure that it's a quality experience. So their maintenance actually is a form of marketing because it makes you feel good about being there, right? It's a great experience and they highlight that. They pride themselves on that. Their team members are cast members, right? So they create this experience. In doing so, it makes us love it, grow an affinity for it. So one thing is, how would that work in the agency? Well, maintaining the policies, right, is perhaps doing reviews. And it doesn't have to be something formal where we set an appointment, where we make them come in, where we do all this stuff that people don't want to do. What we can do is, as we have those interactions on the phone, we do a quick little 5-minute review. And if we set like a 3-point expectation for our staff, then it just becomes part of the experience. The client has a better experience. There's a greater inclination to stay, right? We're building that fence around our clients a little bit higher so that when Geico calls, so that when Progressive calls, so when the guy down the street calls and tries to quote them away from us, that wall's a little bit higher, right? It's a little bit harder to leave because we've done things for them. And as a result of us doing those things, they have a greater loyalty to us. What can we look for in those reviews? We look for three things. We want to make sure that they understand and that they have the right coverages. We want to look for opportunities to increase those coverages. So that's the first thing. We want to look for opportunities to cross-sell. This is where we just talk, right? If they have a truck, ask if they have a hitch on it. If they have a hitch, hey, what do you pull? Oh, a boat. Okay. Well, it looks like we don't have that. Where do you have your boat policy? Oh, I didn't know you did that, right? We ask the questions that are going to help us help them, because it's way better for them to have all their stuff at the same place. And what does that do? That's going to increase our retention. And the last thing that we're looking for is for a Google review. So if it's been a good experience, if something's happened that they're enjoyable, have that Google review at the ready where you can fire it over and right over there in a text or in an email right then and ask them if they got it and ask them to click it and walk them through it. I had an experience where I bought a little electric Fiat about, 4 or 5 years ago. And at the dealership, right before I was going to leave, after the guy had showed me the inside of the vehicle, what he did was he handed me his phone and he said, "Hey, this is our Google site. Would you just write up a quick review?" And he handed it to me. There was nothing I could do. I had to do it. And it had been a great time. He got me out of there pretty quick. I think I was in and out of a dealership to buy a car in about 2 hours, which may be a record, because I just told him, "Look, I'm just getting it. This is the thing." I just kept moving it along because I was familiar with the experience. I tried to push them. They worked with me. They made it happen quick, and I gave them 5 stars. Really easy, right? But I probably never would have even considered giving a review had that guy not handed me his phone and done that. So your methodology, or the methodology we use here at the agency, is we say, "Hey, was this good? Do you feel that this was a good interaction?" "Yes." "Great. I'm going to shoot you over this link. Can you just go in there, give me the 5 stars, and then type up a quick thing?" What I do to incentivize my staff to ask for those reviews is they get $5 every time they get their name mentioned in a Google review. So those add up, right? You could make it $10, you can make it $20, whatever you want to make it. But having those Google reviews is big. And you'll notice that especially with an internet lead strategy, people are going to search you up before they buy. Oftentimes, they feel more confident when they see that you have 300 Google reviews for 4.5 stars or whatever. So really good. Those are the 3 things that you're going to need to look at, that you can increase the retention with your team, with the people that you sign up, and keeping them behind the fence. So as you go into this week, or as you go into the next day, be thinking of ways that you can build that fence higher around your clients, because you want to keep them in, right? You want to keep the herd behind the walls. So that's a playbook. Thanks for listening. If you haven't had time to pop over to the website, check it out, www.theidudes.com. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and everywhere else. So thanks a lot. We appreciate you listening.